Hey everybody, more Rob Moffat. Guys, we're doing another video review of popular 5-star foods. Today it's not going to be from the dollar store, it's going to be from Walmart. This is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. There's over 3,500 reviews of Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the Walmart website, and it's got a 4.8 rating, which is 5 stars. And I thought we'd go into a deep dive, not just on the taste and the texture and so on, but some of the ingredients that are kind of interesting. If you go to the end of the video, we're going to be going kind of deep on one of them. The servings of Cinnamon Toast Crunch are 41 grams, or 1 cup. So that's what we're going to start with. If you look at the reviews, everybody says the same thing. It's very crunchy and it has a nice cinnamon taste. And they're right. I remember having these when I was a kid at my parents' house, and or I should say when I grew up and went to visit my parents. We never had these when I was a kid. That was back in the dinosaur days. No, when I would visit my parents, my mom, my stepdad, they would have Cinnamon Crunch, and they loved this. Now, it doesn't get that soggy that quick, and it has a nice flavor. A lot of people mention that when it finishes, there's milk left in the bowl, and it has a really nice taste. We're going to get to the ingredients. I'm going to show you real quick in just a second. I like to have a lot of stuff on my cereal, and I usually make oats. We'll get into that in just a minute. Now, there's over 3,500 reviews, but I started digging into the reviews and I found a lot of interesting things. One thing I found is a lot of reviews on Amazon, or excuse me, Walmart, for this particular product were left by people who were given the product as a free promotion. So I don't imagine people would be lying about what they were saying just because they got a box of cereal. It's not like that someone gave them a car. But it was disconcerting to see so many reviews were left by people, which gave a high star result because they had been given a box of cereal. So I didn't feel too good about that. Now, one serving is 1 cup. This reminds me of Life cereal. Remember, if Mikey likes it, well, let's get Mikey to eat it. Oh. It gets maybe a little more soggy quicker than I thought. But I have had these as a topping for ice cream or pudding. Just add a few flakes, because let's go into the ingredients. One serving is like 41 grams, and you get 2 grams of protein in a serving. But the problem is you get, Lordy, 12 grams of sugar per serving, and there's only 41 grams, so that's like, what is this, 28, 29% sugar? I can't do the math in my head that easy, but I think it's about close to 28, 29% sugar. That's a lot of sugar. So maybe if you're monitoring what you're eating, your other ingredients, or if you're doing your lab test for your doctor and you don't have a problem with your sugar, then this would be a tasty meal, I guess. But there's a lot of sugar, and even though it has whole grains, and I do like the fact they're adding more vitamin D, because we're finding more and more how important vitamin D is to people's health. But let's look at the main ingredients. First one is whole grain wheat, then sugar. That's the second ingredient in the box. Then rice, flour, canola, sunflower oil, fructose, maltodextrin, dextrose, salt, cinnamon, trisodium phosphate, which when I was a kid, 9th grade, I worked for a guy. He had me up on a roof scrubbing mild and mold off of a roof with trisodium phosphate. Soy lecithin, caramel color, rosemary extract, BHT added to preserve freshness. I got more information about BHT and trisodium phosphate. Now the BHT, now by the way, just because something is a chemical doesn't mean it's bad for you. And just because something's natural doesn't mean it's good for you. Lead is natural, mercury is natural, but you wouldn't want lead and mercury in your cereal. And I'm not saying this is bad cereal. I just wanted to let you know that Cinnamon Toast Crunch has butylated hydroxytoluene and it has trisodium phosphate. We'll go into these right now. It says, and some of the reviews that people left being concerned about BHT, they left a comment, and someone responded. I think it's from the company. It could be from General Mills, I'm assuming. They responded, butylated hydroxytoluene is used in trace amounts in some shortenings and oils to prevent oxidation and rancidity. You wouldn't want your cereal to get rancid. And although its use is minimal, there have been several misunderstandings and concerns about the safety of BHT. Some people are concerned that BHT might cause cancer. In some animal tests, BHT given with strong carcinogens appear to enhance the carcinogen's effects. But in other tests, BHT actually inhibited the carcinogen's effects. BHT by itself, without the carcinogens, at high levels, has been shown in 2 studies done by the National Cancer Institute to be without carcinogen effects. Similar studies from Japan confirm BHT's safety. Finally, a recent study from Denmark is puzzling to scientists. I bet it is. BHT-treated animals had more tumors, but only after living 50% longer than untreated animals. So they were giving these animals BHT and they got more tumors, but they lived longer. So we'll continue, but I'll give you my point in a second. These studies, along with other available evidence on BHT, have convinced the Food and Drug Administration that BHT has no adverse effects on human health as it is now used. If you're looking for an option without BHT, many of our cereals do not contain BHT, including Cheerios, which is actually the original Cheerios, has almost no sugar. The original one, and it's got oats. We'll talk about oats in a second. Kix, Lucky Charms. I wonder how much sugar is Lucky Charms. Reese's Puffs, all Chex cereals, Chex granola, mixed cereals, and fiber. So there's a lot of cereals out there without BHT. But if you read this behind the lines, actually it kind of says that not only does BHT reduce cancer, but it may make you live longer. The animals had more tumors, but only after living longer than untreated animals. So they think because the animals lived longer, they had more tumors, not because of BHT. And perhaps the BHT made the animals live longer. So, and we have studies the BHT inhibited carcinogens. So maybe Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a superfood. Maybe the BHT in it reduces cancer and make you live longer, as shown in these studies. Do you think so? Well, it's available at Walmart, and many people have left fine reviews that were given complimentary boxes. So, who can you trust? Now, as far as trisodium phosphate, which like I said, I finally remember being up on Florida summertime on the roof with a metal scrub brush, scrubbing mold and mildew off of a roof with trisodium phosphate. So it's an old friend. I'm glad to see it reappear in my cereal. It says, first, trisodium phosphate is a water-soluble salt. That means it dissolves in water. And it's used in a wide variety of other food products. So it's used in other stuff. It is approved as safe by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And if you can't trust the government, who can you trust? We use small amounts of trisodium phosphate in some of our cereals to help improve the texture, making every bite crunchy and delicious. Every bite. Crunchy and delicious. Actually, now this is where they kind of lost me. It says, actually, the trisodium phosphate does this work in the dough stage. And then mostly dissolves as the dough is made into cereal. So very little, if any, TSP is present after the cereal is made. So if it's water soluble and it's in the dough and it's dissolving in the dough, and I understand the dissolve part, and I understand the dough made in the cereal, but How is the part where the trisodium phosphate is being dissolved, but then it's no longer present? Because it fits in the dough. Don't they use the dough to make the cereal? So they kind of lost me. But I'm just the guy that makes sandwich toaster videos on YouTube. So what do I know? Like I said, I'm not saying chemicals are bad for you, because some chemicals are miracles. As we found out, BHC may be a miracle itself. It could cause less cancers and make people live longer, because it does that with mice, according to some studies. And and the trisodium phosphate, it is used in other stuff. So why are you complaining? 5 stars. I have more of a problem with the fact that this could have 28-29% somewhere up there of sugar. That's a lot of freaking sugar. But it is, if you're monitoring your sugar levels and how much you eat, this could be a blessing. You have something that you've been eating for years. It's something you love, enjoy. Why would you want to have someone like me come and tell you that this is not something you should eat? And I'm not going to tell you shouldn't eat this. I'm just telling you that you may not be aware of what's in it, and you want to educate yourself. And even though it is 5 star, it's very hard nowadays. I've been eating old-fashioned oats, regular oats, for breakfast for decades. However, I always felt smug because I figured my cereal choice is better than everybody else's, because it's a whole grain, there's no sugar, there's no this, no that. Now, in the last few years, I found out my cereal has glyphosate in it. And there's some people say glyphosate is bad for you. So I can't say you should do what I do, because I know better. I'm just saying that you should educate yourself and make your own decision and choice. This is a very tasty cereal. I can understand why it would have 4.8, even though a lot of people were given free boxes to leave reviews. But I do wish someone would make cereal that tasted good, that didn't have a ton of sugar, and didn't have stuff that I used to use to get mold off a roof. And as far as taking BHT, I'm not a mouse. I'm a hamster. So guys, this was my 5-star review of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which a lot of people love because it tastes like cinnamon and it's crunchy. And let's add some sunflower seeds. I'm sure they're poisonous. I'm sure. The very fact that I have powdered milk, there's some people have already written me off as a lunatic, because milk is terrible. So there's the air I'm breathing is probably killing me right now. This color yellow is probably doing something to my DNA. We're all doomed. We're doomed. So enjoy your freaking cereal. Go enjoy your freaking cereal. Have a good life, and just educate yourself about what you're eating and try to make choices. And that's all anybody can do. God bless us all. Take care. See you out there. Hopefully, if I don't go blind from the sunflower seeds.